Good morning. Welcome to the session about project on academic integrity in Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Kazakhstan, and Turkey. My name is Dita Tlabolova. I'm from Mendeley University in Brno from Czechia, and on behalf of my team, I'm going to present this project. The PAEB project was commissioned and founded by Council of Europe, namely by the Pan-European Platform on Ethics, Transparency, Integrity in Education. The aim was to map academic integrity in the given region. It started in 2018 and finished in 2019. We were two teams in this project, one from Mendeley University in Brno, Czechia, which was led by Dr. Tomáš Foltínek, and the other one was from Coventry University, United Kingdom, led by Dr. Irene Glendinning. The particular objectives about the project was first to analyze the policies and practices regarding academic integrity and plagiarism in the region, then to identify the gaps and challenges, but also the good practices examples in the region, and based on the results to sketch the recommendations and prepare guidelines for promoting capacity building in higher education. There were four target groups which we focused on: higher education students, teaching staff, senior management or higher education institution, and national policymakers. To reach the objectives, we used multiple types of data sources. We were reviewing existing national policies and documents. We collected data via online surveys from the main stakeholders, and we also collected qualitative data from face-to-face interviews with the stakeholders during our personal visits at the institutions in the region. Actually, this project was a follow-up of two previous projects with the same aim, which were covering different regions of Europe. And this was IFI from 2010 to 2013 and SEPI from 2016 to 2017. A significant role was played in the current project by so-called country managers, who provided significant support to our team during the research and especially during the visits, during the collection of the data, and we are really grateful to them for this. Let's now briefly present the state of academic integrity in the targeted region. So what you can see now in front of you, it's a graph, so-called academic integrity maturity model, where you can see all countries where we already did this research, and you can see that the countries from the current region, from the current project, are highlighted. So we might see that they are quite in front from the other countries. What we have to bear in mind is that the previous projects were performed in a different time period, so there might be some shift as well. We might see that in some criteria the situation is not perfect in the examined countries, but according to some aspects, some of the countries are doing quite well. The results of the project are going to be they were already submitted as an extensive report to Council of Europe, and they are going to be made publicly available soon online. So you will be able to find there in this extensive report all the details. So today I'm going to now just focus on the general recommendations which we created based on the project results. I believe that these recommendations are transferable to other countries as well, and that they might be useful also for you, for your institution, and for your country. I will present these recommendations separated in two categories: recommendations regarding transparency and recommendations regarding the education. Also, I'm going to illustrate the recommendations' origin on particular examples, so you know where they come from, and also from the data on the data that we collected within the project. So let's start with the recommendations regarding the transparency. What is very important for students to actually build the culture of academic integrity in them is to see that their teachers are their role models of integrity and transparency. We have a great example from one small private university in Armenia, where the whole community saw the quality of education and integrity as the priority, and the teachers took academic integrity very seriously. Students actually appreciated the approach. They claimed that at the university, they feel that they are like one big family, and actually they would not dare to plagiarize. And if they try it, their teachers would recognize it anyway, because they know them so well that they can see if something is there or not. So the next recommendation is about the partnership, because the partnership or any partnership is a strong motivation for improvements. Hence, the capacity building project within national and international partners are very important. Again, we have a great example from our research. It was well visible in Georgia when 13 Georgian universities were involved in an international capacity building project, Erasmus Plus project, aimed at building culture of academic integrity. And actually the impact of this project wasn't only at the particular 13 universities, but also at the other universities. And we could really see during our visits from our data that Georgia is kind of leader in the region, and it's well visible also in the academic integrity maturity model, which I was showing you previously. The next recommendation is that academic misconduct needs to be dealt with transparency and fairness. And fair dealing also means being consistent in following of the rules. We were asking the participants of the research who is deciding on the penalty which is applied to students for exam cheating. And here you can see comparison of answers from managers and teachers from all the countries. So quite some amount of teachers think that applying the penalty, it's actually their job. On the other hand, there is really a minority of managers who has the same opinion, especially well visible it is in Turkey and Armenia, when none of the managers think so. As the result of this, some penalties applied by the teachers, they are actually not penalties at all. We can see this in this chart, where we were asking teachers which is the penalty for plagiarism in assignment. And you can see that some of the teachers were actually answering that none action would be taken. It's the blue column, which where you can't see the legend because of my face. Then also verbal warning, required to rewrite it, and required to complete a new assignment, which are actually no penalties at all. And these outcomes are quite the most common in most of the countries. Unfortunately, all countries from the region have quite high corruption index according to the Transparency International. And according to the research, the corruption has effect on education, and this underlines the importance of ongoing anti-corruption measures, which is our last recommendation from the group of recommendations regarding transparency. So let's now move to recommendations about educational quality. It is very important to have well-defined and precise policies for academic integrity, and also they need to be regularly audited. We have a great example of a private university from Azerbaijan, where they have well-defined policies on academic integrity, and also they have honor code. Honor codes are typical in US, but also in these cultural settings, the students pay high attention to the honor code and respect it, and they were really very well aware of the policies on academic integrity. The next recommendation is regarding the training. We would all agree that the training of teachers and students is very important. but it's also necessary to ensure that the students actually learn something from the training. Again, I'm going to illustrate this on a chart. We have here a chart where we were asking if the students receive training in academic integrity and in avoidance of plagiarism. And we were asking the managers, teachers, and the students. And you can see that in all the countries, the teachers and sometimes also managers think or are quite sure that the students are receiving training, but the students are sure much less. So this might mean that they didn't learn what they were supposed to during this training, or they don't even remember that they had some training at all. The next recommendation is regarding understanding the students and their motivations, because it is very crucial. One of the reasons why actually students plagiarized, which we learned within this project but also in the previous project, is their lack of skills in academic writing. As we could see in the previous example, the students might not remember their previous education on the topic of academic writing, and probably in the moment when they need the support in the academic writing, they would just search the internet to get some instant information. And exactly in this moment when they are Googling, they might be trapped by the contract cheating providers. And there is a great example, quite simple example, from one institution from Kazakhstan who has actually a student support web page about academic writing and also about other academic integrity issues. This web page is a safe space for students who are searching the information, and also the students can ask their questions and they receive answers from the teachers or from the other members of the faculty. The next recommendation is regarding assessment design. The assessment design is an important tool for assuring the quality and integrity. We have to bear it in mind, and we should also bear in mind that it can work as a prevention of misconduct, for example, of contract cheating, as we will see in the next example. The example is about an institute or from an institution in Turkey, where the process of the writing itself is what is actually emphasized. The students are conducting peer reviews of each other texts. They are also receiving continuous support from the teachers during the whole process of the writing. And at the end, they have to defend their text in one-to-one viva to really prove that they understood what they have written, kind of to show that they have written it by themselves. Most of this region speaks with rather minor languages, and usually this language has some special characteristics, such as their own alphabet, and this might be a limit to students' access to the literature and sources, and also might hinder the text matching software. So it is very important to build national digital corpuses on academic sources to help these two things. Anyway, speaking about text matching software, it is always very important to bear in mind that it is just a tool, that the text matching software is not a solution. And that the policies for the text matching software needs to be created wisely, and they shouldn't rely on percentages. So that was our last recommendation. Actually, what we came across strongly during the research was the desire by most of the participants to make their country a better place to live, to study, and to work. They understood that they are on a long journey, but the destination, the improved education, reduced corruption, and communities with strong integrity is worth the effort needed to get there. However, it will not be easy. If you would be interested in more details from this project, you can visit our webpage plagiarism.cz/PAEB, where soon we will publish the final report of the project, or you can contact us directly either via emails, or you can also check our Facebook page. So thank you very much for joining me in this session, and have a good day. Goodbye.